On today's date at approximately 11:20 a.m. in the 11,000 block of Birchwood, we initially received a call on a deceased child. That call was later updated to a murder-suicide. There were two children found inside the home, ages 4 and 5, along with their father, who we believe is just shy of 40, age 39. They were located by the mom of the two children at this location. We're very early in our investigation at this scene at this time, but it appears to be a murder-suicide of those two small children with the father. Our investigators are on scene right now. We're waiting for a warrant to arrive to continue to process the scene. We will update you on any changes that occur after this. All the information that I've given you thus far is based upon preliminary information and subject to change.
Do you know if the children inside were the father?
I do not know if he's the biological father of the kids yet. We do not know that at this time.
I know it's early, but any indication why he would have done this?
We do not know that. We've made calls to this home before in the past, domestic related, but it is unsure what events occurred that resulted in this.
Do you know why the mother, why she decided to come to the house, if there was any particular
We do not
reason?
know that information. It's too early in our investigation to determine that.
Can you reiterate who exactly is deceased right now? You said two children?
There are two small children, ages 4 and 5, and an adult male, all white race, located in the home, located by the mother, and it appears to be a murder-suicide of the two small children by the adult male father.
Was anybody else in the home at the time?
It's unsure to determine that right now. We're still very early in our investigation.
And all three gunshot?
We do not know the cause of death as of yet.
And so have you guys so crime scene technicians have not been in the home yet?
We've been in the home, but we have not obviously moved anything. We're not beginning the formal processing of the internal parts of the home. We're waiting on a warrant to arrive at the scene.
Obviously, any homicide is hard, but when you come to a scene like this with young children, I mean, what does that do to you as investigators?
That's a great question. I can tell you that this is a painful illustration that I can put 1,000 more police officers on the street and that we cannot prevent everything from occurring. When you have kids who are incapable of protecting themselves be the victim of something this heinous, it's very, very frustrating. It's mentally tough on our officers and civilians on this scene, many of which who are parents. So this is very, very tough, not only for our agency, but for our community, because I'm sure that the neighbors here in the area who probably don't know what has occurred know these young kids.
And when you say there were previous domestic cases here, do you know if any of those turned out to be anything substantial?
We don't know the extent of that, other than we've made calls for service to this location, and some of which have been domestic related.
Can you speak to what sort of domestic services the police department provides people who are in abusive domestic relations?
We have a very robust victim services unit, and we think that that we are able to get people in contact with a number of different organizations that work with the police department to try to help individuals who may be in a situation who are the victims of violence or this a cycle of domestic violence. And if you are someone that's in that kind of relationship, we would just ask that you do everything that you can, as tough as it may be, to get out of that, because when they result in this kind of ending, many times there have been several opportunities that this could have been prevented.
And the time span of when this happened, just for people tuning in now, and also you said the mother of the children is the one who called police?
The mother is the one that we believe that located them in the home. I'm not sure who actually called the police, but the time frame, I believe we received the call at approximately 11:20 a.m.
This morning?
This morning.
Is there any indications of when this homicide occurred? If we're talking earlier in the morning or
that we don't know. It's just still too early for us to be able to determine the time of death, but we will certainly find that out sometime here in the near future.
And were any of them transported? They were all just found deceased?
No one has been transported from the scene. The scene is still intact.
Okay, gotcha. And you said it was the biological.
I did not say that. I said
the biological mother.
The biological mother of the kids.
And even seeing, sorry to cut you off,
no problem.
Even seeing, we don't have incidents of such small children being victims of homicide. Just how your department, how are they, dealing with this? They don't really deal with a lot of.
It's the same thing they deal with any scene where there's a death. You have to remain professional. You have to do the job that we've been called here to do. But it's certainly expected that this at some point takes a mental toll on people who are doing this for a living.
Can you talk to who lives here? Is this the biological mother's house? Is this...
I do not know who all lives in the home yet. It's still too early in our investigation to know that.
You don't know if
Any
he's...
family members popped up yet?
There have been some family members here who have left with the mother who came to support her.
You said earlier he appeared to be the father, so you mean like a father figure, but don't know for sure if he is...
Unsure of the whether he's biological or what that actual blood relative relationship with that was, but it appears to be a father-child kind of relationship. Unsure about that, though.
And you said don't know cause of death, but is there a preliminary indication? Was there a gun found inside?
Well, obviously, we wouldn't give out something like that in the preliminary stages of an investigation because if this case actually goes to court or something, we don't want to misspeak on something that we would later use against us in a trial.
Are police actively looking for any other people involved with this homicide?
Not at this time, we're not.
So this is what you guys are figuring out, domestic related, just the parties involved inside of that.
Domestic being the relationship, but unsure as to what events occurred that actually led to this. Thank you all.